Hey, what's up, Virgo? Welcome back to another general tarot reading. I'm doing something a little different on this cycle of reads, and I'm focusing on going much quicker this time around. So I'm also not writing any title or any description for the video. So I do appreciate if you are here anyway. I'm trying something a little different to see what kind of content all of you viewers might be into. So I'm doing something a little different on this cycle, and I'm trying something different. So I appreciate that you're here, checking this out anyway. Alright, so let's see if I can get some core energy for you on this reading. So, core energy trying to come out. Wow, the devil in reverse, weird. It's actually Capricorn energy. It's an unfortunate sign. It's definitely a sign of indulging in illusion. It's not just that you're in illusion, it's that you're like indulging in it. You're kind of proud of your illusion, so to speak. That is a tough core energy, but it is Capricorn, which is similar to your Earth energy, so it's like there's a little bit of resonance in that regard, but I almost never get the devil in a reading that is not a Capricorn read. Very rarely does it ever emerge. So, unfortunate sign here to start the reading off. Let me see what else I can grasp for this. The Emperor. Well, that's a strange combo. The Emperor is not your major arcana. It's definitely a sign of, man, definitely somebody in authority, in an authority position, who is not seeing the whole picture. They're very good shot that they're being misled to some degree here. A very good shot that they are not being kept appraised to the real reality of the situation. So that's very strange. Let me see if I can expand the devil on the other side now. Okay, so the devil's not expanding, so how about expanding the Emperor? Okay, so this will expand the Emperor. Looks like it's eight of Wands. So that is a sign of haste. It is a sign of communication as well. Sign of action. An interesting sign that the Emperor does wish to take action, but the problem is that it's almost as if they're being misled, though. So it's like somebody is like giving the Emperor what they want to hear, but it's based on faulty ground for some reason. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why that is, though. Let's see. Can we clarify the devil in reverse, please? Can I get a clear message for the devil in reverse? Okay, how about the Emperor? Clear clarifier for the Emperor. Okay, so this is clarifying the Emperor. The Chariot. So this Emperor is even very capable. They are interested in victory, interested in success. And clarifying the Eight of Wands, that's very hasty. And not necessarily in a bad way. It's just like extreme motion, extreme forward progress. This Emperor is getting it done big time. But what I'm really fearing here in this reading is that they are being misled to their action. They are like somebody is manipulating them is what I'm really getting here. Even though the Emperor may have the capacity to succeed to great lengths doing that. So I'm not sure what's going on, because the Emperor's in the upright, so that's usually a pretty stable energy. And it's usually a pretty secure energy, so I don't know what the heck is going on behind the scenes here. Can we clarify the devil in reverse? What was that trying to come out? Like, High Priestess is trying to slip out a little bit. Can we please clarify the devil in reverse? The devil in reverse is not very interested in being clarified. Okay, so I already said that it clarifies with the justice in reverse. Negative karma. It can represent a bad court decision. So another sign of being misled here, big time. Like, and the results of that coming down out of your favor, out of this Emperor's favor. Definitely a karmatic balance, but in a negative sense, a bad karma. So earning a bad karma for listening to not being able to see through this illusion, even if the Emperor takes great action and succeeds on that. So very strange, very strange. Very hard read to give to somebody here. This starts getting into very dicey territory about getting manipulated, and that can stir up a lot of feelings in people, which is very difficult for me to start to speculate on because of the types of actions that that individual will take once they realize they're being manipulated. So this is definitely tough. Definitely tough. Can we expand the Devil in reverse, please? Can we please expand the Devil in reverse? Any clarifiers for the Devil or any expansion for the Devil in reverse? Singular clear sign, please. Okay, so it doesn't look like anything wants to come out here either. Devil likes to keep its mystery in mystery. Okay, so to expand the Devil in reverse, we have the Page of Swords. A little weird. Let me consider this for a second. The Page of Swords is like definitely somebody who is interested in success. Once again, the deliverer, very likely, very possibly the deliverer of this message that is based off of faulty ground, but what's very strange is that the Page of Swords is in the upright. So it's not as if the Page of Swords is a conniving individual here. Very bizarre. Almost as if maybe there isn't a manipulator. It's just the devil is the manipulator, which is very, very tough to. It's even harder because there's no material. It's harder to pin the material, or it's harder to pin down the devil in the material sense. It's easier to pin it on a toxic individual, but in this instance, it's not exactly playing out like that. The Page of Swords is looking away from the devil, though, so it's almost like, man, I don't know. It's almost like everybody just doesn't have anything else to say but to keep saying yes to the Emperor. So it's not as if there's a toxic individual misleading the way, but it's like this Page of Swords just, they have to say yes to the Emperor for some reason. So that's very disappointing. Can we, let's see, can we expand the Page of Swords reversed? Can we expand the Page of Swords reversed? Or excuse me, it's not reversed. Can we expand the Page of Swords? Okay, how about expanding the Eight of Wands? Can I get any expansion for the Eight of Wands, please? Let's see, this reading's at 8 minutes, 7, 8 minutes. Getting there, it's taking a bit though. No hard earth sign energy for Virgo. So expanding the Eight of Wands, the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So as soon as I said that. Yeah, so this is haste into a... This Emperor is hasting into a situation that is going to not be good in the long run. It's going to lead to some destabilization on their part. And they may even be... It's almost a sign that they're hasting into it for the wrong reasons. That they're hastening into it because they are... Maybe they're like running out of money or something. Like, for some reason there's this destabilization in their material. And because the Emperor is in the upright, I'm not going to say that it's direct greed off the top, but they're definitely rushing into this for some reason. And with the devil here at their back in the reverse, it's not a good sign. It's not what they should be hasting into. So, I don't know, maybe they feel compelled to do this, but there's even this sign that there's this negative karmatic effect from this. So this Emperor is like definitely cruising for a bruising, so to speak. Can we clarify the Eight of Wands? One clear clarifier for the Eight of Wands, please. The Five of Wands reversed. Very strange. Almost as if this Emperor on their chariot is capable of taking success, but like when it comes to everyone else, they can't speak up. So this is a sign of people not being able to put forth the hard truth that would lead to growth and more success. This is definitely a sign of a group of people, like a group of work individuals who are all shut down to a certain extent to speak the truth. So that's strange. So it's really starting to bleed into the idea that like everybody is just being a yes man for this Emperor. So this emperor is like galloping forth under the impression that everybody's on their side, but the truth of the matter is that they are... The individuals aren't actually... They're afraid to express their truth. They're afraid to express the truth, the important truth, to do the right thing. That definitely strikes me as like a bunch of people who are just appeasing this emperor, which is disappointing because that means this emperor is going to make false decisions because they're under a false pretense about how everybody feels about things. Especially if this emperor maybe succeeded in the past. If that's the case, then they might have an even tougher time speaking up because they don't want to speak against the emperor's experience, so to speak. Or they may just not be able to because of how the emperor has things set up in this situation. But just because the emperor has this personal capacity doesn't mean it's translating into everybody else, so it's very disappointing to see. Very disappointing. Can we expand the Page of Swords? Let's get an expansion for the Page of Swords, please. Okay, so expanding the Page of Swords is the High Priestess in reverse. Jeez. Failure of intuition, which is part of how this Devil in reverse energy can interfere with the truth. I'm not sure where this Page of Swords is coming into the mix. The Page of Swords can be somebody who seeks the truth. So surrounded by all this lack of truth, it's very disappointing. This Page of Swords would very well feel trapped in this energy. I'm kind of forgetting some of the details for this Page of Swords, but they definitely want to take proactive action for the good. They may be somebody who would be willing to speak up to this emperor, but this emperor is insulated for some reason. They're very insulated from hearing these things. And the Page of Swords wants to achieve and wants to succeed. So in this particular energy, this individual is definitely, this energy at least, is going to be very boxed up. They're going to feel very stifled. They aren't going to be able to speak their truth properly. So it's very weird. Can we clarify the Page of Swords further? Okay, so the Seven of Wands. Once again, this Page of Swords is, for some reason, they're seeing... It's almost as if they're seeing through the illusion of the devil. And I'm not sure how they're doing that, but they are going to very likely try to stand on a different type of ground. They're very likely going to want to... Man, it's like they're going to be the one who's like trying to like rock the boat to a certain extent to break through this. And it's showing here that they're standing on valor, but this intuitive block is a problem. And this illusion of the devil is a huge problem. And this Page of Swords can see it coming to a certain extent. So that's why they're going to stand their ground on resisting whatever this is. And they're going to be in a position of valor while they do it. So, yeah, definitely, like, this Page of Swords is in a position to deal with this devil in reverse energy, but they're still a little insulated from the Emperor, and there's even this follow-up of lack of intuition. Very strange. Can we expand the High Priestess in reverse? So, High Priestess, reverse expanded by the Fool. Interesting. Re-grasping that intuitive capacity, moving forward along a path of enthusiasm. That enthusiasm is very often inspired by more than just mental activity. So, definitely a sign to get over the blocked emotions, the blocked intuition, in order to move forward. But even that doesn't exactly feel clear enough. Let me clarify this High Priestess in reverse, because that's very strange. All the surrounding energy for this Page of Swords is very interesting. After the failure of this intuitive capacity, there may be the opportunity for a new journey. So let me see here. Let's clarify the High Priestess in reverse. So High Priestess in reverse clarified by the Ace of Wands in reverse. A sign of the failed intuition. Whomever is failing in this intuitive capacity, that is going to very naturally lead to disappointment in desire, disappointment in anticipation. So even though there might be a certain anticipation, the Ace of Wands is signifying that they are going to fail in that anticipation. And part of the reason they're failing that is because they aren't coming from their intuition properly. They're not listening to their higher power properly. And when that isn't happening, the desires and the anticipations are faulty. So the natural reaction is that they are going to fail and that they're going to leave the individual disappointed. So I definitely feel bad if this Page of Swords is standing on that ground, because like this would be a sign that they're standing on valorous ground, but the follow-up is that they weren't listening to their intuition properly. So kind of what I'm getting here now is this Page of Swords, they might have seen this as a very logical, cut and dry, black and white, right and wrong situation. So they chose to go with that mental and logical approach, but there's a higher source had a different message for them. Higher source had a different idea of what right and wrong was. So very disappointing for this Page of Swords. Definitely a sign of learning. Definitely a sign of a learning experience. And we also have, it's also very interesting because now we also have this Justice card in the reverse, which can signify a failure in law, very specifically, like a failure in karma. So like this, I kind of feel bad for this Page of Swords now. They're like trying to do their best, but they're lacking in a couple things. They're dealing with their own illusions, even though it's supposed to be structured around good things. So the thing that really is striking me here is that this Page of Swords is trying to like maybe be very law abiding and be very by the book, rule of law type. And they think they're standing on valorous ground. And to a certain extent they are standing up for the law, but the problem is that higher power is beyond human law in terms of its idea of what right and wrong is. So if the Page of Swords is resting on human law but not listening to higher source, then higher source is going to be able to overturn that situation. So, dang. Very disappointing. 7.5 minutes. Let's see. Can we... Whoops. Wheel of Fortune tried to come out in reverse there. That's not good. Can we please clarify the Fool card, please? Let's get a clarifier for the Fool card. Man, shuffling's a little weird here. Can we please clarify the Fool card? Okay, so the Fool card clarified by the King of Swords in reverse. Wow. Unbelievable. It's like this Page of Swords is going to evolve into bitterness almost from this situation. If they cannot find their intuition properly, if they stay stuck in this hyper-logical mind and they don't find enthusiasm for their path forward, there's a shot here that they are like going to evolve into a very toxic leader. The King of Swords is once again, it's the same principle. They're like very law-abiding. They put a lot of faith in the rule of law. But the problem is higher power is beyond human law. And if they never learn that fact, they're going to be very bitter about law, about being defeated in the law, or about the universe not backing them up on their law virtues. And it's definitely a sign of a bitter king. A toxic king. Who's definitely getting trapped in their mentalisms big time. So definitely a very sad sign of evolution here. Because on the other side we have this Emperor who's like embracing it all very differently. And they're managing to see this haste of the Chariot and stuff, so it's like definitely very strange here. I'm trying to see how what does the Fool have to do with this whole thing? It is kind of just a sign that this Page of Swords is super fresh to the idea of this higher power, this higher source, having a say in the matter. That they aren't in fact very, very experienced with that quality. So if they're super dependent on the law, the rule of law, in the long run, it's showing some signs of them developing bitterness for these disappointments that emerge. So Okay, I got one more clarifier here, about 20 minutes. I think I can wrap this up pretty quickly. Let me see if I can clarify this. Four of Pentacles in reverse, please. Can I please clarify the Four of Pentacles in reverse? Last clarifier, so I would like it if I could just get one clear sign for the Four of Pentacles in reverse, please. Let's go. Let's get this Virgo something clear for this. Anything clear for the Four of Pentacles in reverse? Well, it doesn't look like anything is coming out. And sometimes when I say that, something comes out, and look at that. Oh crap, that mixed. So I'm gonna give this a shuffle. Something almost came out, but then it muddled itself. So I'm going to Alright, so Four of Pentacles in reverse, please. Final clarifier for this reading, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so Four of Pentacles in reverse, clarifier. Five of Swords, interesting. Five, 5, 4, 4. So, like, very strange because this, it's almost as if the Emperor is starting to keen up to this failure in the workplace. It's sort of a sign of the Emperor, like, it's kind of a sign of the Emperor dropping people that can't keep up, to be completely honest. So individuals, which is another sign to a certain extent that this Emperor is very solitary, which is part of why this Five of Wands reversed is happening, because there's like a lack of leadership. So it's kind of a sign that this Emperor is an indirect leader. Maybe they try to lead by example more than anything, or something like that, but there's a lack of leadership in this process, and that's leading to some inability to achieve growth amongst the group. But unfortunately, with the Five of Swords at the end here, it's like the Emperor just doesn't care. They're more of a sink or swim type of leader, it looks like. So they are fine with continuing down their path of victory and shedding the weak, so to speak. So it's definitely a sign of... It's very strange, too, because it's coming off of the back of the Four of Pentacles in reverse, which is like... It's also very stuck energy, so it's like... If the Emperor isn't seeing the results they want at the pace they desire, whether or not they're involved in the leadership process, they're going to leave people behind. They're going to shed the weak, so to speak. And this Emperor is in the upright, so it's not like they are being shown to be toxic necessarily. They're just very conventional, very typical. They're going with the ways that they've got to this throne in the first place, and then they're going with the ways that they have succeeded in the past. And that's this very cut and dry approach here of sink or swim amongst this group of people. And that's exactly what's going to be happening, it looks like. So, yeah, that's what I've got here. There's no real signs of Virgo. There's only the only Virgo energy here in this whole thing is the reverse Four of Pentacles. So it's very light. So very strange for a Virgo read. I don't know exactly if some of these energies match you, but okay, so then kind of what I'm seeing here is like, it's very strange and grounded by this Devil energy. With the Emperor doing the sink or swim method, this Page of Swords may be like, well, look, I prefer a different type of path. I don't prefer cutting people out like this. But if like the Page of Swords is showing some symbolism here of doing their own thing to a certain extent, it's just not going to work out very well, according to this energy. The higher power doesn't mind strength. Mother Nature sheds weakness all the time. So even though this Page of Swords might be coming from a valorous place, there is a higher source of power that likes strength and isn't just necessarily going to just be disappointed in this Emperor's behavior, necessarily. And the Page of Swords might have to really face that fact by not being able to succeed, not being able to achieve their desires as they really intended. So, Yeah, very disappointing. Very strange here with this devil energy in reverse. I do notice now that you have 7/7 flanking the Justice card. So it's like the personal capacities of these individuals, the Emperor and the Page of Swords, they both have like very successful personal capacities, but there's like some peripheral issues to them. And this Emperor is definitely looking like a very action-oriented individual. The Page of Swords maybe was trying to be a little more diplomatic, but they're missing something. They're definitely missing something here. The path of their evolution is not looking too swell. At the end of the day, though, it looks like maybe both of them could actually learn something from each other. So it's almost like the Page of Swords is trying to overcorrect and do like the exact opposite of this Emperor. But that doesn't exactly work. So it's almost a sign here to a certain degree that both of these individuals are a little illusioned about their approach. They're both an illusion to a certain extent. And they're both kind of set up for a path of karmatic failure to a certain degree. Especially the Page of Swords for some reason. Which is very disappointing. Because I'm not a huge fan of the sink or swim model. You know, I would rather embrace each other better than that and kind of reinforce each other better than that, but unfortunately this Page of Swords is seeing a lot of issues going down that route, and that really hurts my heart because that's the way I would like to do things as well. But so it is here. I don't know more details for this, but that's the energy I'm seeing. Both of these individuals are in due for a karmic retribution to a certain extent, and that's what these are. The Page of Swords is going to be they're going to find themselves disappointed in their anticipation, which could lead to very long-term bitterness, which is not good. And then on the other side, the Emperor is going to be losing people. So very disappointing. Definitely not a great read here. Like, for turning this around, I mean, the Page of Swords needs to be a little more intuitive to bust out of this devil energy. And as for the Emperor, what it looks like is the Emperor is just too preoccupied with their own personal capacity that they are maybe they could slow down and help people a little bit more. So it's almost like the Page of Swords could put down people more and the Emperor could put down people less. That's almost what I'm seeing here for the illusion. So that's about all I can say. I don't know what part you play in this. Very little Virgo energy at the end of the day. So I'm sorry about this reading. It's disappointing. One way or the other. Unless you can turn this intuitive capacity around. It is definitely there's a lot of loss in this reading. So a lot of capability, but still a lot of loss, a lot of disappointment. So I'm sorry for that. Thank you very much for being here, Virgo, and good luck.